I don't think we're live. I'm fairly certain we're not live. This is fun.
Ah,
That's funny. That's so funny. Stream start. We're not live. Stream start.
Hello and welcome back to the FTC Gym. Bobby Vaccaro joined by my good friend Tyler Bryant. Tyler, we got a good basketball game in store for folks today. We got the Five-Town Sound taking on Bryant Stratton of Buffalo, the Bobcats. It looks like it's going to be a good game here, Tyler. Both teams look ready to go. Coach Drizel getting the boys ready as the starting lineups are being announced.
Yeah, I'm ready for a fun game, Bobby. I'm ready for an intense game. Both of these teams are very deep. They're ready to play. Both of them got on the floor early, and I'm excited for an intense game here.
And you see there, Kyrie Sawyer getting announced just a game after getting 1,000 career points. What an accomplishment, what a feat, what a historic milestone for the junior that has started every game since he was a freshman. And Ty, I mean, we've called a bunch of games for Kyrie and this Five-Town Sound man basketball team, and it's just been a privilege to watch him go to work.
Yeah, I mean, he is a special talent. And I mean, we've seen this team get better, get a lot more talent. Damani is a fantastic shooter. Damani Merritt, Lloyd Middlebrooks is a fantastic passer and a great scorer. But just Kyrie, there's just something special about the things that he can do with the basketball in his hand.
Yeah, and even some of the new additions. I know you just mentioned Damani Merritt, but a guy who's been huge at replacing John Francois, the size of John Francois, has been number 20, Robert Williams. He has been fantastic on the boards, and he's been a physical presence for this Five-Towns team.
Yeah, and one thing to watch in this game, as you know, we're about to tip, is Robert Williams is the biggest guy on this team next to Obasi Jackson, and this Bobcats team is filled with just big guys.
Yeah, this is the biggest team we've seen in a while, and we're underway. Bryant Stratton will start with the ball. And they're going to drive on Damani Merritt there, and right away, number 1, Tyrell Mitchell, getting Bryant Stratton Bobcats on the board.
Tyrell Mitchell, one of the biggest scorers, one of the biggest point getters of the Bobcats team, 14 points per game he averages.
And now here's Sawyer in the corner. Double teamed, gets it to Lloyd. Lloyd back to Sawyer. Sawyer thought about taking a shot, does a head fake, passes out to Damani. Damani Merritt, his favorite spot, can't get it to go. Rebounded by number 12, Williams. And now back to Tyrell. Calling out a play at the top of the key is Devon Ware. Ware taking a 3. Not very contested, but can't get it to go. Rebounded by Damani. Damani Merritt taking it up the floor for the Five-Town Sound. He'll pass it out to Kyrie. Kyrie finds Nigel Braithwaite at the top of the key. Gets it to Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks back to Sawyer. Sawyer eyeing the defense. Nice step back. Can he get it to go? In and out. Robert Williams with the board. And Five-Towns will reset. And here's Lloyd Middlebrooks calling out a play for the Five-Towns offense. Here comes Damani setting a screen. Middlebrooks has some room. Tries to get it up for Williams, but it's going to be stolen by Bryant Stratton. And a great outlet pass there by Devon Ware to Tyrell Mitchell. Both guys getting involved early.
Good props to Mitchell getting out in front of the defense. Early fast break points for the Bobcats.
And they're going with the press defense against Five-Towns. And here's Sawyer trying to break it. He's going to get it up and in for Kyrie Sawyer. Trying to make it a 3-point play, and just like that, Five-Towns answers.
There is just something about, I mean, I shouldn't pump my fist where I'm sitting, but there's just something about watching Kyrie Sawyer get to work, getting on the board early for this Five-Town team. Their leader, the All-American, and the newest member of the 1,000-point club.
Yeah, Todd, good job not showing your bias, my man. And the free throw, no good by Sawyer. So we got a 4-2 game, 18 minutes to go here in the first half. And Bryant Stratton moving the ball well. Ware will have a jump shot at the top of the key. He gets it to go right before the free throw line. That's going to be a long 2. Damani inbounds it to Lloyd. Lloyd gets it to Kyrie, and it looks like this Five-Towns team is still trying to decipher this press defense. Here's Lloyd. He'll pass it over to Merritt. Merritt back to Sawyer. Kyrie thinking about driving. He'll decide to kick it out to Middlebrooks. Nice couple head fakes there by Lloyd. A contested jump shot, and Kyrie fading away, gets it to go with Shaylin Thompson draped all over him.
Great defense by the Bobcats early on, and Kyrie just finding his lane, finding him space, and letting him rip.
And Mitchell will get it back to Ware. Back to the top of the key to Mitchell. Mitchell to Ware again. Lloyd draped all over Devon Ware. Stratton will work it down low. They're going to go to number 12, Jariah Williams, and he'll put it up and in for two with a nice base move.
Fantastic move by Jariah Williams on Robert Williams.
Williams on Williams crime to start this one. And that one almost got us in the knocker there, Ty.
Yeah, we'll take a souvenir home. Thanks, fellas.
And here's Kyrie on the baseline for the inbound. He'll get it to Lloyd. Lloyd working on Ware, decides to kick it out. Williams on Williams. And here's Braithwaite at the top of the key. Ware staring in. Kicks it out to Middlebrooks. Lloyd drives into the paint, puts up a floater, gets it to go as the shot clock expires. A great job by Lloyd Middlebrooks on that possession.
Lloyd Middlebrooks won the Athlete of the Year, is voted on by FTC students.
For the Culture Awards last night, we got to see Lloyd. He gave a nice little speech and thanking his teammates.
Showing why he earned that award.
And a little miscommunication there by Bryant Stratton as number 23, Devin Redden, throws that one out of bounds. And Five Towns getting ready to inbound. Kyrie Sawyer driving into the paint, passes it to Nigel Braithwaite Jr. A no-look pass by Kyrie Sawyer, and we're all knotted up at 8 early. 15:45 to go in the first half. Oh, a nice pass there by Ware. Tried to get blocked there by Williams. A late call there by the official, but it's going to be 2 shots.
Very, very late call. It looked like Robert Williams for Five Towns really was all ball there. Very, very late whistle.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Ty, but instead they're going to go with Jariah Williams, who gets the call, and he'll go to the line to shoot. First free throw a little short. No good. A lot of energy in this gym early. Both benches very into the game. We got a good show out from the Five Towns crowd as well. And the second free throw is good. So 1 of 2 at the line for Williams. Kyrie with a pass fake. Decides to go to Damani. Damani back to Kyrie. Kyrie gets it past half court, double teamed. Gets it to Lloyd. Middlebrooks to Merritt. Merritt, long 2, can't get it to go. Williams can't get the board. It's going to be Jariah Williams instead of Robert. Ware tried to get that pass in. Great job by Nigel Braithwaite having his hands in the passing lane. And it's going to be a turnover for Five Towns and an easy transition bucket for the man, the myth, the legend, Damani Merritt.
Finally, Damani Merritt gets going 0 for 2 before that, his first shot of the night. They got to get him cooking. He's the supplemental piece to Kyrie Sawyer.
Couldn't agree more, Tyler. And when he is on, it comes in clips. And here's Ware. Ware will kick it out. And that's going to be a 3-point attempt, and that is hit by Shaylin Thompson. His first 3 points of the afternoon.
And that was a tough luck rebound for the Sound, getting right back into the hands of the Bobcats. And Shaylin Thompson just leaking out and finding a hole and letting it rip for 3.
Lloyd calling out a play. Looking to make something happen here. Dumps it off to Nigel. Braithwaite looking for Damani. He finds him. Merritt tries a crossover, can't find an opening. He'll hand it off to Kyrie. Sawyer, jump step. Fadeaway jumper, can't get it to go. And here comes Bryant Stratton of Buffalo, and a great move there by Tyrell Mitchell. Up and in as he was just able to weave his way in and out of traffic there, and an easy 2 for Tyrell Mitchell. 4 points on the afternoon for him. So Ty, a 14-10 lead for Bryant Stratton of Buffalo. The Bobcats have come out playing the same way the ladies did earlier in the day, with a lot of energy and a lot of press defense.
Yeah, they're really going for the ball early here. Props to Devin Redden, fell on that last play. Props to the Bobcats for finishing 4 on 5 with a man down in their own offensive zone there, but they are coming out very intense. The one thing I've noticed is the guy that's guarding Damani, I think it's Tyrell Mitchell. Damani gives up a couple inches to him, so this is the first time I've seen someone that's bigger than Damani cover Damani, and he hasn't gotten a lot of looks, and he hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities. We'll see if that changes as the game progresses, but both teams playing good defense. Been an intense start to the game, and I'm ready for a wild ride here, Bobby.
I'm on board with you there, pal. I think we're going to have a fun one today. It's crucial for Five Towns to get both Kyrie Sawyer and Damani Merritt going. Kyrie double teamed. It seems like that's going to be a common theme in this one. He'll get down low to Robert Williams, and that's a nice assist by Lloyd Middlebrooks.
And that's the problem when you double team Kyrie. The things he can do with the ball are quite frankly magical, and he's going to find an open look, gets it to Lloyd, Lloyd gets it down to Williams, who has a step, and it's easy.
And that's a nice pass there by Tyrell Mitchell down low to Jariah Williams for an easy 2 over Robert Williams. Here's Middlebrooks working on Ware. Gets it down low to Williams. Williams can't finish, gets his own board, is patient with it and waits to go back up and puts it in for 2. Great job by Robert Williams.
Great instinct by Robert Williams there to not jump. He knew, timed it on the opposite jump of Jariah Williams and finishes.
Here's Devon Ware for 3. That's a long one. No good. Rebounded by Kyrie. He'll get it to Lloyd. And Lloyd, you know how when he drives in the paint, he is just a pinball, man. And that's going to stay Five Towns ball.
Great defensive possession there by the Bobcats. Lloyd not able to finish it, and then Robert Williams on the offensive rebound also not able to finish it. Five Towns down 2 points. This is going to be a close game. You can't leave points like that on the board, Bobby.
I agree with you, Ty. And now coming in for Bryant Stratton is Jonathan Range and Jabari Hibbert. As well as Mick Snowden.
Mick Snowden, another one of their big 3 scorers here, averaging 14 points per game himself.
Jump shot from Damani a little too strong, and you can see he's getting frustrated. He's going to have to shake that off. And that's way off by Jonathan Range there. And they're going to call a foul.
Jonathan Range, we can key on him for a minute. Number 4, if you're watching at home. He could score at will, and he's averaging about a double-double a game. He's a 20 and 10 man, checked in a little late, but he does work. Even if his minutes are limited, you know he's out on the floor.
And the first free throw is good by Jariah Williams. Robert Williams will take a seat, and in comes Eric Romero for the Five Town Sound. Another new face, another good shooter that the Five Town Sound added.
And he's a dog. He's a fighter. He fights down low, uses his size to get under the board and make rebounds, and he's a great addition to this Five Town Sound team.
Damani will inbound it to Lloyd Middlebrooks. Lloyd to Kyrie. Kyrie working up the baseline, double teamed, trying to find somewhere to go. He finds Damani. Damani finds an open man in Braithwaite. Braithwaite on the side, can't get it to go, and that's going to be rebounded by number 4, Jonathan Range. And he'll get it to Mick Snowden. Mick Snowden for 3, and it's an easy bucket for the man we just highlighted a few moments ago.
Snowden showing his range here.
21-14, Five Towns trail 7. Kyrie going to try to drive here, and he'll draw the foul, and that's going to be on Tyrell Mitchell, his first of the day.
One of the big storylines early I've noticed here, Robert Williams really having himself a really nice first half. 2 fouls early, and Eric Romero, that's why he's in. He's the next biggest guy size-wise, and he's gonna. And he also has given up a couple inches here to guys like Jonathan Range, guys like Devin Redden. So it'll be interesting to see that physical battle down low between those two.
And here we go, Bryant Stratton bringing it up. It's Jabari Hibbert at the top of the key. He gets it to Jonathan Range. Contested jumper, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Lloyd. Good defense there by Eric Romero. And now they find him in the corner. Great job by Eric Romero hitting the 3. And just like that, defense turns into offense for the Five-Town Sound.
Way to leak out there. Eric Romero finds his spot in the corner. He shoots, he scores for the home team.
And Mick Snowden working on Lloyd Middlebrooks. Now Damani switches up, and a nice contested three, double teamed, and he's saying, hand down, man down. I'm gonna hit that all day.
Mick sees Eric Romero's three and calls with a three of his own.
And now Kyrie playing this very smart, trying to get these guys into foul trouble as he is driving at will, and he's not afraid of contact.
Yeah, they are giving him the lane. You would think it's only a matter of time with the kind of scorer that Kyrie is, that he's going to find a home for that ball, and if he can get a few Bobcats in foul trouble, then he's going to do it.
And the first free throw from Kyrie Sawyer is good. And the second one is good as well. So Kyrie perfect from the line on that trip. 4-point game, 11:20 to go in the first half. Jonathan Range working on Romero. Gets him with a pump fake, was about to throw it down, but just lays it in the last possible second.
Jonathan Range has unbelievable size and quickness. For someone as big as he is, he just worked Romero on speed alone.
And Kyrie working on Jabari Hibbert. Loses his footing, loses the ball a little bit, and now he's got to try to get rid of it. And Nigel Braithwaite, you know he's going to fight for that. And they're going to say that Nigel didn't get that one fully, and the possession arrow belongs to Five Towns. And here's Lloyd working on Range. Range has a couple inches on Lloyd, and that's what you see there is blocked Lloyd Middlebrooks. And Snowden converts it to offense.
What a sequence. Jonathan Range, the come from behind block. On the other end, the Mick Snowden three, and two very good players for these Bobcats teams showing up here.
Yeah, that was a great display of athleticism there by Range with that block. And now here's Romero. He tries to put another one up, can't get to go. Rebounded by Merritt. Sawyer going to try a contested three. It doesn't go. Rebounded by Bryant Stratton. Snowden again in the corner for three. Can't get that one to go. Rebounded by Jonathan Range and up for two. That was number 0, Jason Mixon, I apologize, but he'll put it up for two. 31-20, 10 minutes to go here in the first half, Tyler. And it looks like Bryant Stratton is starting to get in their comfort zone as they're converting defense into offense at will with Jonathan Range and Mick Snowden.
Yeah, the big takeaway that I've seen early on here is just the flat-out speed of this Bryant and Stratton Bobcats team. Jonathan Range, for someone who's on the bigger end of the spectrum, he is able to stick and move and weave in and out of the defense like really no one Five Towns has ever seen before. Mick Snowden coming in, making three big three-pointers off the bench. Jonathan Range immediately making an impact. This Bryant Stratton team we've noticed so far is a very deep team.
Oh yeah, I mean, the guys we just talked about, Mick Snowden and Jonathan Range, weren't in the starting lineup.
No.
And they came in and made a huge impact in these last couple of minutes. Coach Drizel drawing up a game plan for the men.
It's an 11-point game, so it's still relatively close. A run from Five Towns, and it's back to a down-to-the-wire game. But they got to stay on their toes here because this game could get ugly real quick.
And especially with a team like Bryant Stratton, we were talking about it earlier in the game where they have a ton of size, but they also have speed. They have the best of both worlds on this squad. Very tough to defend, but here's Kyrie Sawyer. He'll pass to Damani, and Damani will get it out to Lloyd, and Lloyd will call out a play. Kyrie gonna drive. Step back. Can't get it to fall, but he looks like he broke the ankles there of number 2, Jabari Hibbert, for a second, but couldn't get it to go. Here's Mick Snowden from 3, doesn't get it to go. And they're gonna go over the back. They call an over the back there on number 0, Jason Mixon, and Five Towns will get the ball back. The Bobcats bench, not a huge fan of that one. Here's Lloyd. Gets it to Kyrie. Snowden cuts off the pass to Merritt. Kyrie does a nice job avoiding contact there, but doesn't get it to fall. Just a couple shots for Kyrie that just haven't been able to rattle home.
Yeah, they're getting open looks, but they're just not making them at a clip that really can keep them close here.
And you can't leave that man open. Mick Snowden again from 3. He's been hitting them contested. He's been hitting them wide open. Make it a 14-point lead for the Bobcats. And here's Lloyd working on Jonathan Range. Get it to Damani. Damani, quick trigger, can't get it to fall. Rebounded by Jonathan Range. And the Bobcats look to build on their lead. They find Snowden. He'll step in front of the three-point line, can't get it to go. No one there for the board, and it's going to be a foul on Damani Merritt instead of an easy bucket, so he's going to make him earn there too.
Smart foul there. Don't know if he intended to foul him, but smart foul, make him go to the stripe. Earn these two, but can't say enough about Mick Snowden. I mean, he's been very good off the bench here for the Bobcats.
And here's Jason Mixon for his first free throw. And that's going to be short. And Mick Snowden will take a seat, as well as number 23, Devin Redden.
And in comes Obasi Jackson for the Five-Town Sound. Someone, as Romero goes to the bench, it looks like he's talking to the trainer, looking at that elbow. But Obasi, another big player on this team, a lot of size that can compete with some of the bigger guys on this Bobcat team.
And here's Lloyd Middlebrooks. He's going to try a 3, and he gets it to go. The best male athlete showing why there with his first 3 of the day. And here come the Bobcats. Here's a 3, a line drive shot, can't get it to go, rebounded by Mixon. Kicks it out to number 2. That's going to be Jabari Hibbert who can't get it to go, but it's going to be a nice, easy put-in. Here comes Lloyd, and he's got a wide open Obasi Jackson. And he'll kick it back out to Lloyd. And you hear the defensive chant by the Bobcats bench. Nigel will get it to Lloyd. Lloyd driving, and 1! Oh, they're gonna call a charge on Lloyd Middlebrooks instead. To me, it looked like he was in the box. They're gonna say no way. Lloyd Middlebrooks almost had a huge bucket that could have made this a 10-point game.
And look who was in the middle of it again. That was Jonathan Range. Heads up, getting his feet down, I guess, what wasn't in the box, and managed to get a heads-up call by the refs and first team.
And it looks like he's feeling it a little bit.
Lloyd is a lot of man, so, I mean, for that to bump into you, you're going to feel it a little bit, Bobby.
He's the muscle hamster, I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
He's jacked up. And here's Tyrell Mitchell. And there's Lloyd again, and he's already got the banged up shoulder. Hopefully nothing comes of that, and he looks to be all right.
Might have dinged that hand up a little bit. I mean, he went right into the chairs there.
And here's Ware working on Damani. Thompson gonna try to put it up, can't get it to go. Kyrie with the board. He'll get it to Lloyd. Middlebrooks to Jackson. Jackson has an open look from 3. He's gonna take it, and Obasi Jackson with a 3. Nothing but net, and just like that, I need your love, Obasi Jackson. He makes it a 10-point game.
Yeah, and things, Bobby, could have gotten really, really out of hand there. At one point, it was 14. 10 is still a large, it's a decent gap, and it's a nice cushion for the Bobcats. But key three-point shooting from Lloyd Middlebrooks, from Obasi Jackson, getting Five-Towns right back into this game. Been a physical first half. Bobcats are doing their thing. You know, John Range has been in and out of this game. Mick Snowden's the difference coming off the bench. 4 big threes, 12 big points. But it seems like they've weathered the storm a little bit, and let's see if Five-Towns can get their footing and get back into this game.
Yeah, and of course that call on Lloyd Middlebrooks, the charge is going to end up being huge. That would have been a 7-point game after that Obasi Jackson 3. But then again, we got a 10-point game, Tyler. 6:45 to go here in the first half. We're about to resume action after the timeout. Tyrell Mitchell will inbound for the Bobcats to Devon Ware. Ware driving into the paint. Doesn't have much room, but it's going to be Williams with the board, and he gets a nice offensive rebound there for an easy 2. Here's Lloyd Middlebrooks. Trying to find someone, but he finds nothing but a defender that is stolen by Williams. And that they're not going to be able to finish, though, and they're going to have to reset. And Kyrie with the steal. A nice acrobatic play on the baseline there by Kyrie Sawyer. Lloyd gets it to Romero. We know Romero's got a quick trigger just like Damani, not afraid to shoot it. And there's Damani Merritt with the quick trigger we were just talking about, making it a 10-point game yet again.
And he's the one that's got to get going. 4 points here in the first half. Again, they're the best when him and Kyrie are both popping and making that mid-range shot. He's got to get himself going.
And they'll kick it out to Ware. Ware to Mitchell. Mitchell going to try to drive with his big body there. Can't get it to go. Was looking for a foul. Not going to get it. Middlebrooks takes it across half court. He'll get it to Kyrie. Kyrie trying to find someone who'll get it back up top to Lloyd. Lloyd looking for some help. He puts it up and in as Lloyd Middlebrooks drives through traffic and escapes a block there by getting it to fall in the cylinder.
He's got elite speed. He really does.
And now here's Ware. He'll kick it out to Demetrius. And Demetrius Reed can't get that one to fall. And Five Towns will rebound the ball. Here comes Kyrie looking to get Five Towns a little momentum going into the half here.
This is a very big possession for Five Towns in an 8-point game.
Kyrie loses the ball. Ware will get it, and he'll get it out to Mitchell. And Mitchell will have an easy lay-in there. That's a great job by the Bobcats following that play.
And that is a very rare mistake by Kyrie Sawyer in a very big spot there.
Great defense there by Tyrell Mitchell to get his hand on Kyrie Sawyer.
And it's going to be another boneheaded play. It looks like it, to me, went off the foot of Eric Romero.
And checking in, not good news, as Bobcats are checking in Mick Snowden and Jonathan Range, 2 guys that came in and made an impact earlier in this half.
It will stay Five Towns ball, so did not go off the feet of Eric Romero.
As Lloyd looking to find somebody, he gets it to Romero. Romero hands it off back to Lloyd. Lloyd working on Williams. Loses the ball for a second, regathers. Kicks it out back to Romero. Romero to Obasi Jackson. Jackson on Jonathan Range, gets by him, puts it up, can't get it to fall, rebounded by Sawyer. Sawyer puts it up and he gets it to go.
Kyrie making him with that mistake.
A nice move by Obasi, couldn't finish it, but that's what Kyrie Sawyer was there for. 40-32 with 3:50 to go in the first half. Mitchell gets it to Ware. Ware back to Mitchell. Mitchell to Range. Range to Snowden. Snowden back to Ware. Ware, contested jump shot, can't get it to go. They'll say no continuation, and they'll call a foul on Eric Romero there. That's going to be a shooting foul. And Ware is Jonathan Range, who will inbound. And Jariah Williams will take a seat. And taking his spot will be Jabari Hibbert. And Ware had an open look. He decides to pass it down low to Mitchell, who just bullies his way into the paint and puts it in for an easy 2.
Really nice display of passing there for the Bobcats.
And here's Lloyd Middlebrooks with a nice spin move on Jabari Hibbert there. Can't finish. Obasi Jackson got a hand on it, but now there's numbers. Mitchell going to try on Romero, and it's easy as Tyrell Mitchell is feeling himself late in this first half. And now here's Kyrie Sawyer, and that one's going to be stolen by Jabari Hibbert. And he's got nothing but a full head of steam and misses the wide open layup. And this is something the Five-Town Sound can capitalize on here, as Sawyer for 3 can't get it to go. Merritt can't get a handle on the rebound, and Mick Snowden does. A 12-point lead for the Bobcats. Here's Mitchell. He'll kick it out to Range. Range in the corner, can't get it to go. Stolen by Hibbert out of the hands of Romero. Active hands by this defense. And now Range will just knock down Lloyd Middlebrooks and put it in for 2. And a nice jump step there by Kyrie Sawyer, putting it in for 2. Jabari Hibbert calling on a play. Asking for a screen from Range, he'll get it. Snowden, a contested 3, falling away, and they're gonna call a foul on Middlebrooks, as they're gonna say that was a 3-point attempt by Mick Snowden, and he'll get 3 shots at the charity stripe.
And Lloyd is not happy with himself.
Either is Coach Drizel, and I think he's about to hear it from him, as it looks like he's subbing out, and in come Robert Williams and Nigel Braithwaite.
Yeah, Drizel's not happy. Coach Drizel, very animated on the sidelines, talking to Lloyd Middlebrooks. You got to shake it off. This is still 13 points is a lot, but Five Towns has had opportunities to put points on the board here, and the Bobcats have played a very good game, but it's very much in reach for Five Towns. They are playing a good game. They're just not getting the shots to fall.
And Drizel and Lloyd going over what went wrong on that play on the bench right now, as Snowden's going to shoot his 3rd free throw attempt.
Braithwaite and Robert Williams have also checked in. Robert Williams, as you know, checked out with 2 fouls early in the first half here, excuse me.
That pass is tipped but caught by Damani Merritt. Merritt trying to work through this press defense. He'll get to Jackson. Jackson hands it off to Sawyer. Sawyer working on Devon Ware. Looking for an open man. He decides to try to drive, loses the ball for a second, gets it back, and they're going to call a foul there on Devon Ware. That's going to be his first. 49-34, a minute 55 in the first half. Kyrie finds Damani. Guarded by Snowden, he'll kick it out to Obasi Jackson. Jackson to Braithwaite. Braithwaite's got to be careful with Jabari Hibbert, as he's had his hands all over the basketball in this game. And there it is, Jabari Hibbert with the steal, and here comes Jonathan Range with a slam for a 2 for Jonathan Range there.
It doesn't surprise me that Jonathan Range can dunk. It doesn't.
See, I wanted to get more excited about it, but I saw him do it in warm-up so many times.
That's fair. That didn't.
It's second nature to me at this point.
That's reasonable.
But I will say, Jabari Hibbert, did I tell you or did I tell you? And here comes Kyrie Sawyer, double-teamed. He's able to get through both of them. And here's Damani Merritt for 3. He can't get it to go, rebounded by Hibbert. Hibbert kicks it out to Range. Range for 3, a little short, rebounded by Hibbert. Kicked out to Snowden, who doesn't miss many opportunities. He's not going to miss that one. Another 3 for Mick Snowden. And they're going to call a foul there on Jonathan Range, as they get that one, as he just attacked Robert Williams there.
It seems a little bit like the last minute or so kind of got a little wild in favor of the Bobcats. Five Towns has to lock it down here and just put some good possessions together just to lower this deficit before halftime.
Yeah, it seems like that press defense started to pay dividends late in this first half instead of early. And here's Damani Merritt. 54-34, a 20-point game with 50 seconds remaining. You want to get a little positive momentum going into the locker room before the second half. Merritt working on Hibbert, loses the ball, it's stolen. Here comes Ware. Williams, the only man back there, he's not going to be enough. And Ware will put it in for 2. And here's Kyrie working on Ware. He's got to watch out as Hibbert steals that one, and here comes Jonathan Range. And Kyrie trying to steal it back, but it's going to go right to Snowden, who tries a 3 and splashes it as he's getting fouled. Wow. A chance for a 4-point play for Mick Snowden, as Kyrie Sawyer was trying to steal the ball back. It ended up in the hands of Mick Snowden, and he was fouled. And it was nothing but net for Mick Snowden, which it has been all night to this point, as he's got 20 points. looking to make it 21 with a 4-point play.
The last 3 minutes of this game have been absolute nightmare fuel for the Five-Town Sound.
And the free throw is good, make it 59-34. And it looks like there was a little bit of a problem with the clock there as it didn't start right away. So here comes Damani Merritt, 11.8 to go. Lloyd Middlebrooks working on Ware. Tries to drive through. They're going to say no continuation, and they're going to call a blocking foul on number. They're going to call a shove there. That's going to be on Mick Snowden. I mean, in the women's game, Ty, it was Shamika who was doing all the dirty work for Bryant Stratton, and this one has been Mick Snowden.
Yeah, it seems like it's a thing with the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats is they're going to burn you from three. Not as much this time as in the women's game. I think they shot 18 threes in the first half, but they got their three-point shooters open. They find them spots, and they let them rip.
And Lloyd will not be able to get the other one to go. There's 2 seconds left. They're going to try a heave here, and that's not going to be anything special. But at the end of the first half, it is 60-35 in favor of the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats. Five-Town Sound going in the locker room. Obviously, that last couple of minutes there, Ty, didn't go the way they wanted. It was a 10-point game, and it quickly got out of hand fast when that press defense really started to make its mark.
Yeah, I mean, the last 3 minutes of that half were an absolute nightmare scenario for the Sound. Everything that could go wrong did. The Lloyd Middlebrooks three-point foul, the foul on, Snowden, the 4-point play, just sloppy ball handling. It was a nightmare. And now you're looking at a 15-point deficit, and it's bad. It ain't pretty.
No, they're going to have to turn some things around. I'm sure Coach Giselle in the locker room will try to figure out a way to eliminate all these steals from this press defense, because it's just been a lot of guys sneaking up from behind, just pickpocketing guys, and that can't happen. You need to be able to play fundamentally sound, especially versus a team that's 5-1 that hasn't lost many games, and you're 4-5 trying to climb your way back into things.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't let the Bobcats steal possessions away from you. It's happened time and time again. They got to move the ball around the floor better. Kyrie, we know he's a magician with the ball. We absolutely do, but they know that too. That's why they're triple teaming him. They got to get the ball around more because he's only one man, and then they're just going to keep ripping the ball out. Feels like Jabari Hibbert has like 6 or 7 steals. I mean, he's been all over the floor. I don't know. It was not a pretty 3 minutes, and it was a rough first half for the men's Sound.
Yeah, 6 steals for Bryant Stratton in the first half. Another thing they need to work on is they need to get Damani Merritt more in this game, because as we know, when Damani Merritt's on fire and Kyrie Sawyer's working, they're a tough team to beat, and there's no denying that.
They are. But you gotta give the Bobcats credit. I mean, Damani's had 7 looks. One of them, he doesn't seem to really be a 3-point shooter by trade. One of them was a long 2, maybe a 3. They've done a good job on Damani Merritt and Kyrie Sawyer, and they're making the other guys beat them. And right now, the other guys got to step up.
Yes, sir. So we are going to take a little break here for halftime. We will talk to you guys on the other side of the second half.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the Five-Town Sound Gymnasium for half number 2. We are underway, 60-35 the score, and we are underway quickly. Buckle up, folks. Here we go.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Already a whistle here. So we will get to the line here. Tyrell Mitchell taking 2 shots. And the first shot no good for Tyrell Mitchell, coming into the second half with 12 points. An efficient first half, 6 for 8 from the field. Got 2 rebounds. Going for point number 13, good, the second free throw. And here comes the Sound's first offensive possession of the second half.
And I'm interested to see what Coach Drizel and Coach Skip came up with to try to find a way around this great swarming defense that this Bobcats team has given them.
And already first possession of the game, the crowd is into it as Kyrie Sawyer the first 2 points of the second half for the Five-Town Sound.
And that's how it's got to be, Ty. You just got to feed into the crowd and try to chip away at this deficit here.
Mitchell to Ware to Thompson.
It's not going to happen on one shot.
Back in the corner to Ware. The corner 3 from Devon Ware.
And I mean, Lloyd was there. He closed out on him. That's just a great shot.
Middlebrooks takes the ball up the floor to Williams. Williams on Williams. Braithwaite to Middlebrooks. To Williams. Williams got some space. The mid-ranger is no good. And it is Bobcats ball headed back the other way. And down the lane. No good for the Bobcats, but down under in a mess of Five-Towns jerseys is Williams. Back up to Ware. Another long 3 for Davon Ware, taking the heart out of the building early in the second half.
I don't know what they're feeding these Bobcat players, both the men and women, but they can just shoot from 3.
Absolutely. So Kyrie Sawyer with the ball. Kyrie on Redden. Kyrie with a nice little move. No whistles, beautiful 2 steps, no travel, and a score for Kyrie Sawyer.
And that's the Kyrie we know and love, man. He just knows how to make his own shot no matter what the circumstance.
Devon Ware in the corner, cannot finish it. Kyrie back on the other end. Kyrie looks like he might have got contacted, but the refs, no whistle on it. Back the other way is Ware and the offense for the Bobcats. And a couple friendly rolls in Shaylin Thompson.
And that was a beautiful no-look behind-the-back pass there by Ware.
Merritt, pass to Braithwaite. Nigel Braithwaite to Lloyd Middlebrooks. To Williams. To Damani Merritt at the top of the key, no good.
It seems like Damani today just hasn't been able to get in a nice groove that we've seen in the past. Usually in the first half, he'll hit 3 to 4 shots, and you know he's cooking. Today, it seems like he's just a little strong on his attempts.
Absolutely, and speaking of Damani, he is the one that is called for the foul, and it looks like it is going to be a shooting foul. And headed to the line is number 23, Devin Redden.
And Coach Drizel looking for an explanation on the foul and why there was no call on the Kyrie one.
Ranks everything I just said. It is not a shooting foul. Bobcats ball. Devon Ware, the long 3 from Ware, and he can't finish it. And it is tipped into the hands of Lloyd Middlebrooks. Lloyd doing it himself, trying to go coast to coast. Big block, but he does get contacted on it, and Redden trying to go down on him, but he cannot get all ball. He does get a good piece of Middlebrooks, and Middlebrooks will head to the line.
Yeah, when Lloyd got that steal, I was almost hoping that he would slow it down a little bit and wait for the Five-Towns guys to come back in transition with him. Instead, he went for himself and ends up working out. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
So a 69-39 game, a 30-point game with 17 minutes remaining, just into the second half here. As Eric Romero will check in, Damani Merritt goes to the bench with 3 fouls here early in the second half.
And you can tell Damani is frustrated, but he'll get plenty of opportunities to make up for it throughout the year.
Lloyd, good trip to the line. He was 2 for 2 there. And we do have a timeout. A very animated Greg Drizel talking to his team in a little bit of a hole here. Got a lot of work to do.
And especially how Bryant, Stratton, Bobcats came out and how they just put a dagger into the hearts of the Five-Town Sound with a couple really nice plays, a couple threes, a bunch of steals, and some blocks.
Yeah, Davon Ware, especially coming out of the locker room. Big start to the second half. Already got himself up to 10 points. Was at 4 at the end, and he's filled in with 3 rebounds, 2 assists, filling up the stat sheet for the Bobcats.
And you want to hear the best part, Tyler?
What's that?
Jonathan Range and Mick Snowden haven't stepped on the floor yet.
Which is not good if you're a Sound fan. Absolutely not. But as for on the floor, Davon Ware picks up the ball, and the Bobcats are on offense here. No! Oh! Wow! Never seen one of those before on this floor, Bobby.
An alley-oop.
A little showmanship there for the Bobcats. That was a Williams pass up to Tyrell Mitchell for the alley-oop.
That was worth the price of admission right there, Tyler.
Wow. Kyrie doing a little fancy footwork of his own, but he can't finish. And Davon Ware back out. Down low to Williams, and that's easy if you're going to let him set up right under the hoop like that.
And this one's really starting to get away, Ty, 73-41. They kept it close somewhat in the first half. You know, at the end of the first half, things started to stray away from what they wanted to do. And now it seems like the Bobcats are just clicking on all cylinders, and they just know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. That alley-oop, it was almost a demoralizing alley-oop there.
Yeah, I agree with you. It definitely took a lot of the energy out of the Five-Town side of the building. It brought a whole lot for the Bobcat side of the building. And checking in now is Jordan Street, number 33 for the Bobcats.
So Middlebrooks takes the ball up the floor here. Sawyer to Romero. Romero to Middlebrooks. To Braithwaite. To Kyrie, who almost loses it, but keeps the handle on it.
You got to try to get this ball to Lloyd. He's got a nice mismatch with Jordan Street on him. He could beat him with speed any day.
Here he goes, but he cannot finish. And a nice rebound by Romero. The free throw line jumper, no good. Rebounded by Street. And Mitchell down on the other end. Back in the corner. And that's dry. Williams cannot finish. Rebounded by Eric Romero, and the Five-Town Sound are back on the other side. Middlebrooks to Braithwaite. The 3 for Braithwaite cannot finish. Bobcat ball. Robert Williams trying to come up from behind and grab a steal, but the Bobcats do keep possession, and that's Davon Ware. Davon Ware with some fancy footwork. Tripped up, and we do have a whistle. I believe that was a Middlebrooks foul, I believe.
Robert Williams and Nigel Braithwaite are both going to take a seat, and in come Damani Merritt and Obasi Jackson. Obasi put in some really good minutes in the first half. We'll see if he can have a similar effect here in the second.
And there's Obasi kind of playing that zone down there. And the ball back out, that time to number 13 for your scorecards. Ty J. Williams. Ty J. Williams again. Comes in, off the bench, makes a 3. Another 3, goes 1 for 2. And we have another whistle. That is going to be untouched. So really crazy start for Ty J. Williams. Checks in off the bench late for Bryant and Stratton. 1 for 2 from the line, makes a 1 for 2 from the 3-point line, makes a big 3. Missed a big 3, and then he's already racked up with a foul.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, this Bobcats team just keeps showing us the depth they have. They just keep throwing in different guys that can do anything the starters could do, really.
And there is John Range with the steal. And a nice pass and a hop step by Jason Mixon, and a point, 2 points for Jason Mixon. Damani Merritt in the corner to Obasi. In the corner, no good. Covered there by Jordan Street. Range down low. Back to Range. Range showing his range, can't finish. Middlebrooks to Kyrie. And an easy 2 points for Kyrie Sawyer.
Nice job by Lloyd to do a nice little spin move to get out of traffic there and then find the open Sawyer for the easy layup.
Taking the ball up the floor now, number 2, Jabari Hibbert. And a nice floater for Jabari Hibbert.
We haven't been talking about Jabari Hibbert a whole lot on the scoring front, more on the defensive front, but he gets in the action there.
Obasi Jackson passing to Damani Merritt, and I think John Range got a piece of that ball. And the mid-ranger for Damani Merritt, and no good again. Damani's having a rough game from the field, now 2 for 9. A floater, I tried to go for another alley-oop, but Range couldn't finish. That was Hibbert to Range. Merritt, Damani Merritt to Kyrie Sawyer. Kyrie, a nice step back. Good defense again, that time by Jason Mixon. There's Ty J. Williams. To Hibbert. To Street. And that is in the corner, back to Hibbert. Long 2 for Hibbert, and he makes it. Long 2-point field goal for Jabari Hibbert. Middlebrooks now taking the ball up. 82-43, the Bobcats lead the sound. We are headed to the halfway mark here in the second half. 12 minutes remaining. And they're gonna say that ball was a kick ball off the heel of Kyrie Sawyer, and in checks in Nigel Braithwaite. Middlebrooks will go to the bench, and it is Bobcats ball.
And Tyler, when you're playing a team like this Bobcats team with this much depth and the skill players that they have, you can't afford to make those little mistakes that are going to end up costing you big time points. And today it just wasn't enough. They couldn't figure out a way to stop them defensively, and they really couldn't figure out a way to get their offense flowing the way they usually can.
No, and it has been a problem, Bobby, all real first end of the first half to this point. We do have a whistle and a foul, so John Range is going to go to the free throw line here. And the first one is good.
83-43 tie. We got a 40-point game.
It has been a good day to be a Bobcat fan here on the Five-Town Sound Gymnasium. Obasi, long inbound pass to Damani Merritt. To Braithwaite in the corner. Back to Merritt. Back to Obasi Jackson. Jackson to Sawyer. And again, Jabari Hibbert gets his hands in there, but Kyrie holds onto the ball, hits the deck. And the bench of the Bobcats of Bryant and Stratton does not like that call. It looks like they're going to call Jabari Hibbert. He might have contacted Kyrie Sawyer on that steal. And the bench for the Bobcats are not a fan of that call. To Jackson. Jackson to Merritt. Merritt trying to break down Jonathan Range. Obasi, long 3, decides not to take it. Works in on John Street. Very nice move on Jonathan Street.
And Obasi Jackson has had a pretty decent game today with the amount of minutes he's played. He's got a 3. He just missed another one, but just a nice display of post moves there by Obasi.
Jordan Street using that big size to get a hand in under the rim and block that Kyrie Sawyer layup. And we have a scrum for the ball in the corner. Eric Romero hangs on to it. Braithwaite now. And another whistle. And I think it's going to remain Five-Town's ball. Another foul, this time on Hibbert. I think got tangled up with Kyrie Sawyer.
Jabari Hibbert has really made it a tough day for Kyrie Sawyer. He still has 17 points, but Kyrie's been diving all over the deck because there's just been such good defense by this Bobcats team.
Middlebrooks, a floater off the back of the rim, no good. Hibbert on the rebound. To Williams. Long 3 for Ty J. Williams, and it goes.
And Tyler, how deep in their bench are we going?
I know.
They're all able to make those shots. They're all pretty good defensively. This is a very good team that this Five-Towns team ran into.
And another block by Jordan Street. And another long three by Ty Williams off the bench. 3 3-pointers made here. Jordan Street down on the low block, making an impact, and the Bobcats are rolling right now over the Five-Town Sound.
Yeah, and they're having a lot of fun doing it, Tyler. You see the girls team behind the bench, they're having a good time. The bench is into it. And Coach Giselle's not very happy as he was getting in the ear of the ref for a little bit there.
Ty Williams, heat check, no good, looking for a call. Might have gotten contacted on it, but can't find it. Romero back on the other end. Jordan Street again gets his hand on a ball. Deep down the floor to John Range, and it looks like Nigel Braithwaite might have got his hand on that ball and it went out of bounds. So 2 guys come off the bench for the Bobcats. Jordan Street and Ty Williams. Ty Williams 3 blocks, Jordan 3 3-pointers. Jordan Street, 3 or 4 blocks. This is a deep team, Bobby, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the better teams we've seen, one of the better programs that have come in here, and they're lights out. They're shooting the lights out of this gym. I mean, there's no other way to say it. And they're out muscling. They're just a very good physical basketball team.
Jordan Street getting involved on the offensive end now. Lloyd Middlebrooks to Damani, long 2 for Damani. Can't get it to fall. A bad day from the field for Damani Merritt. And there he is.
That's Mick Snowden.
Almost forgot about him. He had a quiet first half of the second half here. Mick Snowden picking up right where he left off in the first half. Romero to Middlebrooks. 3 for Middlebrooks, no good. Rebounded by Street, a nice pass off the head of Snowden. And into the arms of the Five-Town Sound, and fast break the other way, they got numbers. To Braithwaite. Braithwaite contacted by 2 Bobcats. He is going to get himself a call there, and he is going to go to the line.
And Nigel Braithwaite, he's one of the best defenders on this team. He's flying all over the floor at all times, and now he's going to the line to shoot 2. After a great defensive play turned into an offensive opportunity.
I believe they are going to give that foul to Jordan Street.
I know it's championship Saturday, Ty, but come on, it's basketball.
Heads in the clouds. And the first free throw of the day for Nigel Braithwaite goes. The Bryant and Stratton Bobcats shooting 54% from the field, shooting 46% from behind the arc. 46% from 3.
Jordan Street just sat down, took a seat, and they sub in Demetrius Reed.
So we have a quick timeout here on the floor. 9 minutes remaining in the second half. This one, Bobby's quite frankly gotten out of hand. 95-49. It seems like the Bobcats at this point are just trying to put on a show for the fans that made the drive down and for the women's team.
I mean, yeah, they definitely have shown out, and they've done some really crazy things. I mean, they're shooting threes at a clip that we quite haven't seen in a long time. I mean, we talked about the alley-oop. Their passing has been great. Their defense has been great. I mean, if you're able to keep Damani Merritt to 4 points, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're Bryant Stratton, you're getting on the bus after this one. It's a long trip home, but you're rejoicing. You put on a great show, both programs, both the men's and women's. I mean, there's nothing but smiles going to be on that bus ride home.
Yeah, you couldn't ask to come down here if you're Bryant and Stratton and do anything else. It's been an absolute 3-point barrage for both the men's and the women's team. And I think that they've done a good job. They know it's no secret to anyone, especially in the HVIAC, that Kyrie Sawyer is a fantastic player. They've done a very good job of trying to take the ball out of his hands and not let him work. And it shows. I mean, he is the high man with 17 points, but he's 7 for 17 from the field. That's not a Kyrie Sawyer day. That's not a good Kyrie Sawyer day. And they're making the role players here for Five Towns make plays, and they're not doing it so far. So up the floor come the Bobcats. Ty Williams alley-oop again! And this time with a little more pizzazz. Jason Mixon gives that ball a home with authority. And back on the other end, Damani Merritt now. Damani the long two, cannot get it to go. And that is rebounded again by Jason Mixon, who's just on the other half of that alley-oop. Here comes Ty J. Williams. Ty J. Williams breaking down defenders, floats in to the lane and finishes very smoothly for the Bobcats. And again, Lloyd Middlebrooks takes the ball up the floor for the Sound. Going down the floor and a nice little bounce, but none of them friendly. And we go back the other way. Mixon to Reed. Reed to Williams, long three for Williams. Can't finish. Range gets the board for the Bobcats. And a little bit of a misconnection there. Ball ends up by us.
I think one of the most impressive things we've seen from this Bobcats team is just the fact that they can mix and match any lineups they really want to. They have a ton of size. All the guys can pretty much play at any part of the floor, and they all can score. So at any point, they can go to their bench and put out a new five, a fresh five, a luxury that Five Towns just doesn't have.
Absolutely. So, Damani Merritt at the top of the key. To Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks, a nice pass to Merritt. Merritt tries to find some opening. That dribble gets a little loose, and it's a turnover. And there's Snowden, and again, Snowden. I think that was a long two. Either way, it's another range shot from Snowden.
They counted as a three, Ty. 102-49.
And here comes Middlebrooks down the lane to Romero. Romero open right under the hoop. Cannot finish that mid-range jumper. Back to Romero for the 4-3. Can't finish it. Going back the other way, the rebound by Jason Mixon. Mixon, a nice pass intercepted by Braithwaite. Nigel Braithwaite Jr. coming down, pulls up, and finally gets some points on the board. The ball rolling offensively for the Five Towns Sound. A nice little mid-range jumper for Nigel Braithwaite.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple points scored have been by Nigel Braithwaite, whether it be from the free throw line or a defensive steal that leads to points.
And another turnover by the Bobcats. Here comes Damani Merritt to Romero. Romero to Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks drives baseline in the corner. Braithwaite again. Braithwaite cooking now. 9 points on the day. A nice three-point shot for Nigel Braithwaite.
And Nigel Braithwaite doing his best Lenasia Drain impression that we saw earlier today.
So we do have a stoppage in play. Here comes the Honorable All-American, the 1,000-point club's very own Kyrie Sawyer. Checking back into the game here. 6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the second half. 102-53. It's been a Bobcat show here at the FTC Gymnasium. Long mid-range shot. No good from Kyrie Sawyer. Back down the other way come the Bobcats in the corner. And another three by Mick Snowden, making the court his home down here in Dix Hills. And the other way in transition bucket by Obasi Jackson. Getting on the board here. 7 points now for him.
And Obasi did a good job closing out on that three by Snowden, but he's just lights out tonight, and he wasn't going to stop it. But Obasi, don't let that get overshadowed in this one. Obasi's put in some really good minutes tonight for the Sound.
And another big three. We're at both teams. Bobcats three, I see, and I call your three, and I raise you three more. And a Snowden timeout now. And a crazy sequence there. Again, it goes to what you've been saying, Bobby. The guys are just coming off the bench for the Bobcats here. They're inside scorers, they're outside scorers, they're great defenders. This team is a very, very deep, very, very dangerous team, and it shows tonight on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to really pinpoint one problem today for the Sounds, because honestly, you could also say that the Bobcats are just that good. It's one of those games where it's like, yeah, they've done some stuff bad and they need to clean up some things for sure. But then you also just got to tip your cap to the Bryant, Stratton, and Buffalo Bobcats. You have to. I mean, they played a terrific basketball game. They've rarely made mistakes, a couple turnovers here and there, but they've never let it get to the point where it affects them.
Nice moves there by Thompson, but he can't finish. And we do have a whistle, and it's going to go the other way. Five Towns ball. Looks like it's a foul on Jariah Williams. And it looks like they might give him a tech too, because it looks like 5 times are going to the line here. So we go to the other end of the court now after that whistle, and Eric Romero at the line here. And you can hear, and this is a testament to the coaching here of Bryant and Stratton, you can hear the 2 coaches from the bench saying who's got shooter and remember to box out. It's a complete winning system here, and that's why you can get performances like this.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, there's really nothing we could say that really just kind of tells you how good this team is. I mean, they're at any point in time, they could go to their bench and put out a new starting 5 that's going to do the same thing that their other starting 5 was doing, or maybe even better, which is what we saw in the end of the first half with Jonathan Range and Mick Snowden.
And Lloyd Middlebrooks, the muscle hamster, working down baseline. And the frustration shows. Kyrie with his steal. And an easy lay in there. Some easy points for Kyrie Sawyer. And back on the other end, Mick Snowden with the ball. Down in the corner, and that's a long 3, no good, in and out. And it goes back to Reed, and they're gonna call a hard foul there. That time I think that's gonna be on Robert Williams. Yeah, a hard foul there. And Demetrius Reed will head to the line.
That's the 3rd foul for Robert Williams. (109-62), 4 minutes, 23 seconds remaining here in the second half. And Middlebrooks takes the ball off the floor to Robert Williams. Back to Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks back to Jackson. Picked up by Kyrie Sawyer, and they're going to call it travel on Robert Williams. Not a smart play there, and a turnover by 5 Towns. And you saw Coach Giselle on the sideline there telling him, just take that shot. Don't even put the ball on the ground, just take it.
And here comes Shaylin Thompson taking the ball up. Thompson again. Snowden looked like he was going to rip it, but he didn't. That's a long 3 from number 23, Devin Redden, but he doesn't make it. 5 Towns ball goes right out of bounds, and it's a turnover, 5 Towns ball. Here comes Romero on Snowden. Snowden tried to get behind him, and it hits hard. Hit hard by Redden. Redden's going to draw the contact. Romero's going to draw the contact. Hits the deck, but he's going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, that was a very hard foul. Gladly, Romero was able to get up quick and shake it off. Maybe he'll feel it in the morning.
And the first one by Romero goes. And Eric Romero 2 for 2 from the line.
Make it 10 points for Romero. As Sawyer leads with 19, Middlebrooks follows that with 12, and Romero's right behind them with 10.
Thompson down to Redden. And a travel that time by Redden down low, and it is a turnover for the Bobcats. 5 Towns down ball. Middlebrooks driving the lane, and it looks like they might call a foul on number 5 there. Shaylin Thompson.
Yeah, they're going to say that he threw his forearm into the back of Lloyd Middlebrooks there.
And Middlebrooks heads to the line for 2 shots here. The first one good for Lloyd Middlebrooks. And 1 for 2 at the line for Middlebrooks. Rebounded, of course, by the Bobcats. Thompson. And again, Mick Snowden calling a timeout. I don't know if he saw something he didn't like, but he does call a timeout. So, have a little bit of break of action here. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining here. 110-65. The Bryant and Stratton Bobcats coming in. It's been a good day. As you can see, the women up there dancing, having a good time. The men got to be having a good time on the floor. It has not been a good day for the Sound, and the Bobcats have come in here and just play bully ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, and it looks like that this one's pretty much going to be another blowout here. But again, Tyler, like we say when the women's were playing, this is another learning experience. This is a way for these guys to grow. I mean, you're not going to get better playing bad competition. If you want to play the best, you gotta be ready to rise to the occasion. And today they just weren't. And this Bobcat team came ready to play. They knew what they needed to do to get this win. Was they were going to have to try to contain Kyrie Sawyer and Damani Merritt, and they've done a decent job of that. And it shows on the scoreboard.
Yeah, their game plan has worked to perfection. There's not much you can ask for if you're a Bobcats fan here. You know, kind of zooming out a little bit, we look at the women's team and talk about how new that team is. And then we look at the men's team. This is still a men's team that's in its very early stages. This is their first year in the HVIAC conference, so there's going to be games like this. And you're right, you know, kind of a point to what you said, Bobby, you know, these are learning experiences. You take this, you get better. But these are the big dogs in the conferences, and these are the guys, this is the level you strive to be at. As we get an inbound here, Redden to Thompson. And another long three from Mick Snowden. And that's been a name we've called early and often. 9 for 11 behind the arc. As we have another whistle here. And it looks like that's going to be a foul on Eric Romero, I believe. And in comes Nigel Braithwaite and Nick Chinquamani. I believe that foul was on Eric Romero. I'm not really sure for what. Kyrie Sawyer takes the ball down the lane, and it looks like Dry Williams got a hand on it, and another whistle, and they're going to call a travel against the Bobcats.
Yeah, that was Williams there as he just took one extra step when he was trying to get out in front of the fast break, and Obasi was the first one to turn to the official and start motioning the travel sign.
And Robert Williams inbounds to Kyrie Sawyer. And a nice, fancy finish. Get the nice friendly roll, and one for the highlight reel, if for nothing else, for Kyrie Sawyer.
Well, that's 21 points for Kyrie Sawyer, and still ends up putting together a pretty nice game. Obviously not the results they wanted on the scoreboard, though.
Dry Williams with the 2 points. And here comes Nigel Braithwaite. And again, Dry Williams getting his hand in the passing lane. And an easy finish for Dry Williams, who's working on a nice game himself. 15 points from the young man.
And Tyler, there's just the little things, like you can't let them get these easy fast break points when you're already trying to fix the things that they've capitalized on all night.
And old Bossy getting tangled up. And it looks like with the possession arrow, it looks like it's going to end up being Bobcats ball. Nope, sound ball, excuse me. A little bit of a stoppage in play here. And here we go. Cinquamani to Braithwaite. To Kyrie Sawyer. Sawyer in the corner to Obasi Jackson. And Obasi with a nice little lay-in baseline and 2 points for Obasi Jackson there.
Making 9 on the night for Obasi. Again, having a quiet, good game.
And here come the Bobcats. Devon Ware back out on the floor. And the long two, and he makes it fresh off the bench. Hasn't taken a shot in about 25 minutes of real time. And just cooking still, this Bobcats team. Sawyer got a wide open lane. And he tried to finish himself with a little flash. Tried to dunk himself, and he does get hit hard by Dry Williams, but he pops right back up, and he heads to the line for 2.
And Kyrie was really trying to send a message there. He really wanted that one. That would have brought this place down.
Yeah, and I think that was a pride thing too. You know, he sees Bobcat stunting all over his floor, so he wanted to try to give the fans a show here. But he does get his first shot from the line to go. And Robert Williams that time. Very nice move, nice footwork down low. And here come the Bobcats. Can't finish Shaylin Thompson. Back the other way, here comes Kyrie Sawyer. Still showing a little bit of effort, getting in, a nice lay-in through traffic for Kyrie Sawyer.
And that's one thing you can count on from Kyrie Sawyer is he's not going to stop playing until that whistle blows. And that's what you got to respect and love about him.
Devon Ware bringing down the defense. A very nice pass, but they can't finish. It looks like that was Demetrius Reed who was contacted under the hoop, and he'll shoot 2.
I feel like this game has turned into just a posterized contest. Who wants it first? I mean, everybody's trying to throw the hammer down like old school Dwight Howard style.
Yeah, it really is. 5 Towns playing for pride here, trying to show that they can hang with some of the big boys. Demetrius Reed first free throw is good. And the second good for Demetrius Reed. 30 seconds left here. And Kyrie Sawyer takes the ball up the floor. Devon Ware right behind him. Pass to Obasi, and Obasi rattles in and out. And Demetrius Reed out in front of the whole crowd. And Obasi, smart foul. I mean, really, I know it doesn't mean much at this point. Obasi's got 1 foul, but you're not going to let Demetrius run down the floor and dunk. That was a real smart foul by Obasi.
And that's going to be a technical on Obasi because it's a clear path. But
so with the technical, they do get 2 free throws and the ball back. Demetrius goes to the line, earns both of those free throws. And the Bobcats having a lot of fun on 5 Towns floor, and that cannot sit well with the sound. Dry Williams.
And it looks like he's just going to hold on to this one and not take a shot. And the 5 Town Sound, a tough one here, 123-74.
Yes, as you said, Bobby, again, the final score here, 123-74. Yeah, it was not a pretty game. It was not a pretty game at all for the 5 Town Sound. I mean, it's not much you could say. I mean, what do you say to your team if you're Drizel after a game like this, Bob?
I think you just have to say, hey, we got Bryant Stratton tomorrow, the Albany team. So if you want to get this taste out of your mouth, it all starts with a win tomorrow, and you just let this one slip out of your memory.
Yeah, I mean, the scoreboard, it was ugly. I really think this game got away from them in that last 3 minutes of the first half.
Yeah.
You know,
it seemed like they just weren't able to rebound from that.
Exactly. And you come out, and Devon Ware hits 3 very big shots early, and you just kind of get in that mindset. It was a tough one. I mean, you hope for 5 towns that Bryant and Stratton Albany's, quite frankly, not this good, and you rebound and you play another game.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you really can do. You just got to turn the page and hope that it's a better day tomorrow. And I am confident that with a team led by Kyrie Sawyer and Lloyd Middlebrooks and Nigel Braithwaite, all high-energy guys, I'm sure that they'll come ready to play tomorrow. They're not going to hang their heads over this.
So some of your final scores, your player of the game, if you have one, Mick Sweden, out of this world, 10 for 12 from 3, 34 points. For the hometown, Kyrie Sawyer, 5-town Sound. Kyrie Sawyer leading the Sound, 24 points. Decent game, 10 for 22, really brought it back nicely. And again, they'll take the floor tomorrow. The men will be on at 3 o'clock, I believe, for the Bryant and Stratton Albany game. And until then, we'll talk to you. I'm Tyler Bryant, and I'm joined by Bobby Vaccaro, and we're signing out.
He just wants to be me, folks.